Hello and welcome back to Bookmark Chronicles. Today I'm doing my April wrap-up. It is almost April. Where the fuck has the time gone? I had to rearrange this TBR a little bit because I had some books on here that I actually ended up reading in March, so you'll see that in my wrap-up instead. But the first book that I have on this list is American Royalty. I have an arc of this. I really don't know much about it, to be totally honest, except that it is loosely based on Harry and Meghan. So I believe our hero is a prince and the heroine is an American rapper, I think. That's all I know about it. I think I might have read the synopsis before I requested it, but have I read it since then? No, of course not. This book comes out later this summer, so hopefully I like it. And if I do, I'll let you know my wrap up. The next book that I have is The Wedding Date by Jasmine Guillory. Yes, I was supposed to read this way back in September and I never got to it. However, my Libby hold for it came through last night, so I guess I'll be reading it soon. The hold wasn't supposed to come through for another 2 weeks, but we all know that Libby does not give a fuck about our TBRs. So in this, I believe two people meet in an elevator and one of them needs a date to their ex's wedding. So they ask the person in the elevator. I think that's what happens. I could be totally wrong because again, have I read the synopsis for this? At some point, probably. Did I bother to read it again? No. So hopefully I'll get to that soon. Well, I don't really have a choice because I only have it for 2 weeks, but I can definitely finish it in that amount of time. So that shouldn't be a problem, but I am excited to finally get to it and see if I want to read more books in that series. The next book on my list is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. So I've talked about this in 2 previous videos, I think. It was both a 5-star prediction as well as one of the books that was recommended to me by a friend that I will be reading this year. So I'm actually really excited to see if I like it. I wasn't really interested when I first heard about it because it's pitched as a reimagining of Romeo and Juliet, which I honestly don't really care for. But after recommendation from both Dasha and B, I have decided to read it. And I do have the audiobook of this, I think. So I'll probably do a blended read and I hope I really enjoy it. The next book on this list is one that I have been putting off for a very, very, very long time. It is also a 5-star prediction and I've heard mixed things. So who knows what's gonna happen. But I'm gonna read Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi, finally. So from speaking with other people, this essentially is Avatar: The Last Airbender, but make it black. So I'm excited. I have had this book for a really long time. It's been on my shelves for forever, probably since it first came out, whenever that was. And I have the second book too. But I am excited to finally get to it to decide if I want to keep it or not. If I don't want it, I'll just donate it to my library. I've heard a lot of people really enjoy it, so I think my students would enjoy it as well. The author has finally said that book 3 will be coming. There will also be an adaptation. I hope it's good if it's getting an adaptation. I hope they do it justice, not like the one Avatar movie that no one speaks of. So fingers crossed that this is at least good, although I have heard that even people who enjoyed the first book were very disappointed with the second. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little hesitant about that. So we'll see how it goes. And the last book that I have on my TBR for this month is one that I was supposed to read in February and didn't get to it. But I'm finally gonna read My Sister the Serial Killer. This is literally about someone whose sister is a serial killer. That's pretty much all I know about it. In addition to, I think the main character finally decides to interfere with her sister's serial killing. So we'll see how this goes. I've heard mixed things about this. Some people love it, some people don't, but I'm really hoping that I'm gonna like it. If not, again, I can donate it to my library. So one of the books that I was planning to read this month was The Plot is Murder by V.M. Burns. I ended up having a little more time in March, so I will be talking about that in my wrap up. That was another book that was on my recommendations list from Nicole because I specifically wanted a cozy mystery from her. So if you're interested in my thoughts on that, make sure you keep an eye out for my wrap up. Let me know if you have read any of these or if they are on your TBR. If you've read Children of Blood and Bone, how did you feel about it? Did you read the second book? How did you feel about that? That's what I really want to know. How did you feel about Children of Virtue and Vengeance? Because from what I've heard, nobody likes it. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. But that is everything on my April TBR. So that's it for me and I'll see you in the next video.